The Truth Guardians by Matthew Bullis. Copyright 2026, all rights reserved. Chapter 1. The Ghost Ledger. The digital clock on Kaelen's desk pulsed a steady, rhythmic violet at 3:14 a.m. In the silent sprawl of the metro district, the world was tucked under a blanket of forced normalcy, but Kaelen's monitors told a story of a heart attack in progress. Kaelen was a data architect, one of the few lattice walkers who understood the architecture of the world's hidden plumbing. For years, he had been a silent observer for the Vanguard Alliance, tracking the Syndicate of Seven as they drained the lifeblood of the old world into private, off-planet digital vaults. Tonight, the drain had become a vacuum. "They're flushing the pipes," Kaelen whispered, his eyes following the jagged crimson streaks of capital flight. On his secure terminal, an encrypted channel, known only as the Oracle's Gate, pinged. A single image materialized, a golden hourglass shattered, its sand replaced by glowing circuits. Below it, a single line of text. "The Argus Initiative is live. The storm is no longer on the horizon. It is inside the house." The shadow code Kaelen's fingers danced across his haptic interface. He wasn't looking at the traditional stock markets. Those were mere theater, holographic distractions for the uninitiated. He was submerged in the lattice, the new light-based financial substrate. As he watched the syndicate's central hubs attempt to move trillions into a final zero-out script, a scorched earth protocol designed to delete the world's savings, he saw a secondary layer of code he'd never seen before. It was a phantom thread, weaving through the lattice's security gates. "What is that?" he muttered. He isolated the string. It wasn't a financial command, it was a frequency marker. It looked like a tuning fork made of math. It was the subplot signal. While the lattice was seizing the syndicate's assets, this shadow code was quietly measuring something else: the resonance of the destination accounts. It wasn't just checking numbers, it was checking the ethical fingerprints of the holders. The global resonance broadcast. Suddenly, Kaelen's phone didn't just buzz. It hummed with a tone that made the water in his glass ripple in perfect concentric circles. He looked down. The screen was a solid, brilliant indigo. No icons, no apps, just a countdown timer in sharp, white typography, initiating Global Resonance Broadcast, GRB. Remain at your current location. Prepare for truth. "It's the indigo signal," Kaelen breathed. The Argus Initiative had pulled the trigger 5 hours ahead of schedule. He stood up and walked to his window. In the distance, over the capital's skyline, he saw the faint, shimmering grid of the Ethernet satellites. They weren't just providing internet, they were forming a literal cage of light around the planet, cutting off any attempt by the Syndicate to signal their off-world, deep-state assets. The warning Kaelen grabbed his secure comms link. He had to reach his sister, Elara. She was a nurse at the municipal hospital, still trapped in the old world of big chem mandates and crumbling insurance tiers. "Elara, listen to me," Kaelen said the moment she answered. "Don't look at the bank apps. Don't worry about the hospital's debt collection notices. The 75 pillars, the syndicate's central banks, have just been decapitated. The Argus military is in the servers." "Kaelen, what are you saying?" "The power just flickered at the clinic. The patients are panicking." "Look at your phone, Elara. The indigo screen. That's not a glitch. That's the AETERNA Act being implemented. The 12 Days of Stillness have begun. Everything is about to be reset. But Elara, there's something else, something in the code. It's not just about the money, it's about us." As he spoke, a massive shadow crossed the moon. It wasn't a cloud, it was a craft from the Vanguard fleet descending toward the city center. The countdown on Kaelen's desk hit 0. The indigo screen on every television, phone, and billboard in the city suddenly shifted to a live feed of a massive, ancient library. A voice, calm and timeless, filled the room. "Citizens of Earth, the era of the debt slave is over. The Argus Initiative has secured the lattice. Over the next 12 days, we will show you the world as it truly was, so that you may build the world as it should be." Kaelen sat back, watching the first truth stream begin to play. But his eyes stayed on the second monitor, where the shadow code was still pulsing. The wealth was coming back, but the signal in the static was just getting started.